back. New week, new episode of Spulture Show in the Morning podcast. Might look like it's bright and sunny in Indianapolis today, which it is, but we've been dealing with some treacherous conditions. So, had a blizzard yesterday, snow probably 15 inches. Had to get the shovels out. It was real out here yesterday. But what else was real was the weekend of sports that we just saw. We had a crazy MMA fight between Gaethje and Pimblett. Had crazy NFL games. Obviously, the Seahawks, Rams, and the Patriots, Broncos. We also had a bunch of Australian Open matches. We've seen our Survivor League get down to 3 people. I think it's time to kind of shout them out because they got elite tennis knowledge, at least elite Australian Open knowledge. We got Lee Christie, Aura Tennis, Will Kramer, and Nolan Lissman. Nolan Lissman and I used to bet fruit snacks in like 4th grade on who would win between Verdasco and Nadal, and a lot of Aussie matches. Any match, really, Federer, Nadal, every Federer, Nadal match, we had a bag of fruit snacks on. So that was like our OG gambling addiction back then. Started young with fruit snacks, and now FanDuel's got us hooked. But anyways, so also we recorded a crazy episode. Was super excited to put it out with a guest I've known for a while, and one who's a unbelievable tennis player and also absolutely hilarious. Was pumped for that. Unfortunately, I fucked up the recording, so we do have audio for it, but most of the video is just me. I thought it would show the person talking, however, it stayed on me the whole time and really never him. But what we had was too good to just let it go to waste, so I'm going to put it in here anyways. You guys can just listen to him and watch me, or whatever you want to do, however you listen to this podcast. So that guest, by the way, is the one, the only, the man, the myth, the wave god, Nathan Ponwith. So we'll get into that one. I'll put that at the end. It's a good part, man. Especially the part about Medusa and Oz Open. I mean, you're gonna have some fun with that one, video or not. But he also had some you just gotta watch it. It was good. I think the best way to get started here, though, is instead of starting with the Aussie today, I think it's best that we start with MMA. I know this is an Australian Open podcast, but that Gaethje and Pimblett fight was unbelievable. I think it was the best fight I've seen that didn't end in a knockout. Both guys were just throwing haymakers. Looked like Gaethje should have knocked Pimblett out multiple times. He was on the ground and looked like he was going to get him, and Pimblett somehow doesn't. There were multiple times, even standing up, that Pimblett should have got knocked out. The fact that he was able to just continue fighting through all of that was unbelievable. You thought it should have been over multiple times, and then you thought this guy could actually win the fight also at certain times if he was able to just land a few more, because Gaethje was dead. I mean, these guys were dead. They were doing everything they could. They had nothing left, honestly. I don't really know anything about fighting. I just watch, and I'm like, oh, wow, good fight, or oh, wow, bad fight, or like, a lot of action, not much action. So, yeah, that's just what I thought. But I thought, like, based on that it went the distance, based on like the quality of their fighting, and people weren't just like standing there. It had drama. There was a low kick, there was an eye poke, maybe a second eye poke by Gaethje. So there was just a lot going on. Looked like there might be a first round knockout. Both guys were huge. I don't know. Like I said, I'm not an MMA guy. I'm not a UFC guy. That's not my forte. But to me, unbelievable fight. Actually, you should probably watch the highlights if you haven't seen it, because it was that stellar. It was just that stellar à toi. I had some more stuff to talk about, but we'll get there. It's just got to be one at a time today, So another thing going on in the world of sports is, unfortunately, we saw an Arsenal L yesterday. It looked like they were going to at least come away with a draw, and they tied it up in like the 80th minute. Yeah, tough one. It's an Australian Open podcast right now. That's what we're talking about. That's what we talk about. That's what we're getting to. We got to start with a couple days ago. We watched Coco Gauff play Karolina Muchova. It was an electric 3-set battle. It was interesting because obviously when you play Coco, you're going to attack her forehand, but the commentators were making a real big deal out of Coco attacking Muchova's backhand, which was interesting because it's never struck me as a side that would break down. Like, it's definitely not like technically flawed. Like, it's not a bad shot by any means, but Coco was definitely trying to break that down. And what was interesting to me was, Coco was going high heavy to her backhand, and she was trying to kind of force that one line. Such a tough shot to do on, right? So it's not necessarily that her backhand was going to break down. It was the high backhand for her to go back to her forehand. If she took that high backhand and went back to Coco's backhand cross, Coco was going to absolutely blister that ball, right? I mean, that ball would be gone to, that's to another dimension. But Muchova was trying to take it line to get it to Coco's forehand, which was just a tough shot. So that did break down. And coincidentally, there was like 3 points in a row, 4 points in a row, midway through the third once Coco got the break, where it was like, oh, now I see what they're talking about, right? But it wasn't just going to that side, because what Coco has on Muchova also is the clear athleticism, right? So when she can get the points moving more side to side, more angles, more up and back, that's when it benefited her, right? There was a point that we all saw at, early in the match, and trying to think, Muchova gets lobbed, runs back, hits a forehand cross. Coco goes short, little volley, drop volley kind of, but more of a short volley. Muchova runs up, lobs it over Coco. You know what Coco does? Turns around, forehand, angle winner. Just absolutely outrageous. Roger couldn't even get his racket on it. That's how crazy it was. It was crazy. Edit. Yeah, it was crazy. And so that was a match I was super looking forward to. Muchova had been serving unbelievable. She lost the first set in that one, but then she came back, won the second set, and lost the third. So Coco moves on. We're going to have some people super happy about that, to see the American move on, obviously. I mean, how could you be mad about the American doing well, right? So, we're big fans of Muchova on this podcast. We love her game and all that. But, so moving on. In terms of other Americans, Pegula destroyed Maddie Keys. So she beat her pretty easily on Australia Day. So she moves into her next round. Also, Iva Jovic is playing Sabalenka tonight, which should be a good one. Obviously, Sabalenka is going to be a huge favorite, but Jovic is playing unreal ball. She won 0-1 last round. She was playing unreal in the doubles match I saw her play, but she did play like 3-hour doubles match. Will that take a lot out of her? She's like 18, so probably not. She'll probably be fine. She had a day off in between, and she plays singles and doubles in like every junior tournament she's ever played. So, that should not be too much for her, but it will be a lot for her to come back and play Sabalenka and not come back and play, her friend from down the street in the San Diego Girls Open, right? A little bit different. We'll see how she adjusts. I mean, I think she can do it. I thought it was interesting that Caroline Wozniacki said that her size might hold her back from being number one in the world, when Wozniacki was like the same size and number one in the world. So I thought that was interesting, because ESPN, we know, does a fantastic job of covering sports, which they love to talk, right? They're like me, they love to talk. But what's great about me is I got a guest today, I got a guest today. We're making it rain today. So here's who we got left in this thing. I'm done talking about what's happened. We're not talking about the past. The past is the past. It's over. It's done. It's over. I'm sick and tired hearing about what a great hockey team the Soviets have. Screw them. All right. So right now we're in the quarter freaking finals of the Australian Open already. Can you believe that? It's crazy. It's crazy. We're in the quarterfinals. And we got the expected players, right? We got Djokovic, we got Sinner, we got Alcaraz, we got Zverev. Uh, Fritz went down. Fritz, that was not expected. Fritz lost to Musetti yesterday, straight sets. I think his knee was bugging him a little bit. I don't know if our on-field reporter will have any more information on that, but I think his knee was bugging him. Musetti's also just a tough out. He just uses the court so well, so much variety, a lot of different spins he uses. He's got a real heavy ball, but then he goes with the underspin too. So you're just seeing a lot of different looks when you play Musetti. So obviously has a really good forehand. He has got a good kick serve wide to open the court with. He's had the same coach since he was like 4. I think though his whole life. I think he's only had one coach. So I think that's unreal. So I think that's a pretty cool story between him and his coach that doesn't get talked about a ton. I don't know his name, so shout to coach. Shout to coach. But going forward, I mean, man, do we have just sick matches or what? I'm being serious though. Like, so we got Carlitos playing Demon R, which I mean, you know, Alcaraz advantage. Obviously, Alcaraz has the advantage in every match he plays. However, Demon R is from Australia. He's gonna have the crowd on his side, and he's been hooping. He beat Tiafoe straights. He beat Bublik. I had people saying that Bublik match was rigged. He won so bad. I'm serious. It's like 4-1-3 or something against Bublik, who've been playing unreal. Heard the courts, or heard that Bublik during his match went over to his camp and said, you know, the courts are playing unbelievably slow, and slowest court he'd ever played on in his life, I think is what he said, since Indian Wells. Shout out to Indian Wells. If you've played on those courts, you know they're the slowest courts to ever exist in the world of tennis. But then they got the thin air, so it's real weird. Yeah, so we got Carlitos Demonar, which should be pretty electric. I mean, you know, again, it's just unreal rallies in that match. But to me, the match of the round that we should all be looking forward to. I mean, there's 2, right? Musetti Djokovic. Musetti, I don't want to say he has Djokovic's number, but we've seen him beat him multiple times, so that's an interesting one. He beat him. He should have had him at the Olympics, is what I'm thinking of. He should have had him at the Olympics, and he's beaten him a couple other times. Musetti just destroyed Fritz, so he's clearly playing well. He is playing Djokovic in Australia, and, you know, some people think Djokovic might even win the tournament, so that one is going to be a good one. And it's best of 5. We all remember the time Musetti was up 2-0 at Roland Garros against Djokovic. I think he lost the 4th 6-0, and then the 5th, he was down 5-0 default. Someone, chat, let me know, chat. Let me know, chat. We got Shelton Sinner, which, you know, big lefty server. We all know that. We all know how Shelton plays, and Sinner, we know how he plays. Might even cramp up in that one, so Big Shelts does have a chance. You never know. But the match of the round, maybe the match of the tournament, depending on what we get in the final, is Sasha Zverev versus Lerner Tien. I got a buddy, P. He'd be saying that the media doesn't talk about Tien. I mean, I'm the media now. Isn't that crazy? He's saying the media don't talk about Tien, so we're going to talk about Tien because I think he's got the best lefty forehand since Rafa, the way he's able to open the court. When you watch him, he goes lefty angle, lefty angle, lefty angle, and then lefty wraparound line. Like the way he uses the court as a lefty, obviously he's going lefty slice a lot on the serve to set it up, and then he kind of goes behind. But his lefty angle, I think, is the best shot since Rafa on the forehand side. When you think of other lefties, like Shapo has a really good forehand. Obviously, you can hit it really big and really hard, but I mean, it's so inconsistent compared to Lerner. No offense to you, Shapo, you would kill me, but your forehand compared to Lerner's is just so inconsistent. I mean, he's got a big forehand, but it doesn't open the court like Lerner does. Lerner's is heavy. It pulls you out, and then it's like, okay, do I just go behind him again, pull him further wide, or do I go line and end his misery? And that's kind of up to Lerner. Obviously, that strategy against Zverev is going to play into his backhand, which will be pretty sick to see happen, see how he does with that. But honestly, I got Lerndog in this one. I think pretty easily, too. Zverev's playing well. He's got a good serve. That's going to be not the difference, but that's going to be the advantage for Sasha, is the fact that he has a sick first serve and second serve. I don't know. used to double fault a lot, but he has a big serve, bigger serve than Lerner. And to me, that's Sasha's advantage. So if he serves really well, it could be wraps because he's going to return well. He's going to get looks. And if Lerner's not getting looks, it could be wraps. But if Lerner's able to produce looks on Sasha's serve, get a couple seconds serve. I mean, Lerner's got a sick return. He's going to get in points, right? And once he's in the point, he's never missing. I think if he can get in rallies, he's going to frustrate Sasha. So it's just, can he get some looks on the return? And if so, I think we're seeing the young American pull this one out. There's no reason that guy can't be number one in the world. No pressure. That's a lot of pressure coming from the Spulture show, I know. But, yeah, no pressure. I think the sky's the limit with that guy. He's pretty sick to watch, and as long as he's not playing someone from California, he'll be all right. But, yeah, those are the 4 men's quarterfinals. I mean, sick matches. Real pumped for him. I think might even be waking up at 4:15, getting back on the Aussie time zone might. But, yeah, so moving on to the women's quarterfinals, just to kind of breeze through it. We already talked about Sabalenka and Jovic. Another one we got is Coco and Svitolina, Rybakina and Swiatek, and Pegula and Anisimova. So we got popcorn all around here. I mean, these matches are unreal. I didn't know these were the matches. Rybakina, Swiatek in the quarters. Sick match, right? Obviously. Rybakina has gotten to the final here. She's won Wimbledon. We all know who she is. We all know what kind of player she can be. We all know her name, right? We all know who she is. And she's playing Swiatek. We all know who she is. We don't need to break that one down. Sick match. Watch it if you can. Coco Svitolina. Sick match. Watch it if you can. Svitolina, towards the end of her career is going to be out there sliding around, going to be out there ripping ground strokes for her size. She's got that tattoo on her leg. She's going to be out there just balling, right? And Coco's going to be out there defending, especially it's just for Coco, it's a real simple recipe is how's her forehand going to hold up? And that's the question, right? So if Svitolina breaks down her forehand, she probably comes away with the win. If Coco's forehand holds up, she's probably fine. Same with her serve, right? Or her serve and her forehand going to hold up. She was real pumped when she beat Muhova because she served it out on her first try. She said in her post-game press conference, she was like, for those that know, like I've really struggled with my serve, so just to be able to close that out on the first try, it was real sick. And then we got Anisimova Pegula. I wish I could talk more about that, but Anisimova, two-time Grand Slam finalist, Pegula, Grand Slam finalist, both American. Contrast style of play. Anisimova is more of a big hitter. Obviously, both sides, she is trying to crush the ball and end the points as fast as possible. She doesn't want to get in lengthy rallies, whereas Jess wants to use her movement, wants to try and extend these rallies, make Annie move, make Annie defend safely, and make Annie play, honestly. I mean, Pegula is going to try and take the racket out of her hand a little bit, but in a safe manner because she doesn't want to beat herself because that would be a terrible strat against the young Anisimova. Not that young anymore, but yeah. It's kind of young. Yeah, those are the 4 quarters. So when you combine those 4 quarters with the 4 men's quarters, you get $2, and those are going to be some really good matches. Honestly, all 8 of them I'm pretty pumped for. This just kind of reinvigorated my week. Real pumped. I know everyone's waiting. I know Ponwith brought a bunch of viewers to this podcast. You guys are all like, when's he going to be on here? When are we going to get to the Wave God part? And that's coming right now after the break. A commercial break. Only Daisy's Cottage Cheese can do. Only Daisy's Cottage Cheese can do. Only Daisy's Cottage Cheese. All right, shout out our commercial break for that. Daisy's Cottage Cheese and sour cream. Big part of this podcast. Them and Denise. Video, I absolutely messed up on this. The audio is chilling. The video though is like me kind of just reacting. It's interesting. Thought the camera would show him when he talked, but it showed me the whole time. So here's the episode with Wave God. I hope everyone enjoys. Hey, he's going to be back on tonight. just so everyone knows, tomorrow's episode where we got the God on again. So Wave God will be back tomorrow uh, for hopefully a refined version and hopefully with some real video. But here you are. All right, today the guest of the day is the one, the only, the man, the myth, the wave god, Nathan Ponwith. For those that don't know, Nathan's a touring pro on the ATP Tour and played at Arizona State and Georgia. So super lucky to have him here, just talking some Aussie, having a good time.
My friend, big fan of the show. Happy to be here. A lot going on the Australian Open 2026. So, yeah, happy to join the show.
Let's do it. Let's get into it. Let's not keep the fans waiting.
Absolutely not.
All right, let's get started here. We're gonna take a look at these two shots, and we're just gonna get Nathan's thoughts and compare them. See what the wave got. See which one he thinks is better. Starting
Absolutely.
here with Shelton versus Vachereau.
And first, may I just add, this has been a crazy year to watch the Australian Open. I just got a Amazon Prime TV, and I can't watch this stuff. I got the ESPN. I can't watch this stuff. To watch these main courts is it's been like a Rubik solving like a Rubik's cube.
Yeah,
It's
they're
been insane. I just can't log in. I can't watch these. I got to go to YouTube and watch the highlights. That's all I can get.
and then
So
they
I'm stuck on the highlights, but they give us some 14-minute clips. That's pretty good by ESPN. Thank you very much, ESPN.
yeah, and they added ESPN Unlimited. Like what is that?
That's what I had to buy last night to watch my friend Tommy Paul. I had to watch Tommy Paul play Carlos Alcaraz about ESPN Unlimited
Yeah, they're
for
like
one night.
no
Probably
way
won't ever
to.
use it again, but it was worth it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, here we go. We got all right, here we go. Yeah, we got Shelton serving to Vachereau.
Wow. Wow.
Should we
The,
run that
the,
back, you think?
the strut after, yeah, run that one back. I was watching the strut after the second forehand. This is an impressive serve off a Shelton serve. Impressive return. I mean, wow.
Yeah,
Goodness
like you said,
gracious.
off the Shelton serve too.
Yeah, off the Shelton serve. Goodness gracious. I mean, Vachereau, we knew this guy was talented, but this was some wizard witchcraft. This is some Hogwarts type stuff. What is the Quidditch when you're up in the air on the broomsticks? This was
Yeah.
like a Quidditch shot. This was a Quidditch move. Vachereau, we know those guys in Monte Carlo, they've been studying the witchcraft. They're doing it. I mean, good for him. It's impressive. I mean, you don't see that every day. That's a very impressive shot.
Yeah, you ever seen something like that before?
I've done that. So I mean, not quite that good, and I'm not off a serve that big. But sometimes, that lefty serve gets in your body. You got to kind of get creative and do the little side swipe. But it's not how the textbook draws it up. But Vachereau, I mean, this one is crazy too because he's already standing pretty far back. Obviously, Sheldon's got a huge serve, so it's how far back he is, and now he's able to wing it back in the court is impressive.
Yeah, we're gonna take one more quick gander at it.
Yes. Yeah, look how far back he is. Look how far back he is, and then he has to do that like that far back, and then he's outside. His legs are outside the alley. 1 foot in the alley, 1 foot out of the alley. That's crazy.
And look where the ball is compared to his racket. It's like inside of him.
It's crazy. Yeah, I mean, it's
Unbelievable.
just that's some Monte Carlo witchcraft. That's what I call that one right there.
Yeah, he's been working on that for sure.
They do something. There's a lot of wind up there. I'm sure he's used to that kind of spin coming in the body.
Yeah, that's just another shot for Val. And then we
It's just
got
another day for Val. Those guys. They got a lot of Formula One and stuff like that. They're used to kind of mixing it up.
and then we got this return here from round one, Maria Sakari.
Okay. Wow. Oh my God. Yeah, so her and I have the same reaction right now, and that's actually insane. That's a good one.
Yeah, she can't believe it either, can she?
Wow. Oh my goodness. Oh, so this one's fully around the net. Val's was a little bit higher. I think it went over the net. This one I think probably went around the net. I don't know if it went over the net. Wow, that's good.
Straight around it.
But here, can I give some advice to her next time? is once you hit a shot like that, you gotta like walk it off like you meant that. Like you can't like be surprised. You can't do that. Like that kind of takes the aura out of it. Like you gotta walk it off a little bit. I mean, that's like say this is like Federer, he does that and he walks it off. Like he's not smiling like doing it, Like it's just my advice to you, unsolicited.
So if you
You
had
don't
to
need it. You don't need it, but like there it is, You
if
should
you
probably just walk it off.
if you
Cool guy.
if
Always
you
works
had to
out.
pick one, which one are you going with?
If I had to pick one, Sakari with the around the net pose, the full forehand squash shot on the run, that was pretty impressive.
Yeah. She at least tried to get the slice on it. I don't know if she tried to go around the net, but she at least tried to like curve it around, you know?
It was perfect. It was perfect the way she drew it up. I knew she meant to go for that. I could clearly see by her reaction she meant to go for that. So it was the right shot.
Yeah. And that brings us to our next Australian Open clip here. See if we can get the Wave Gods side by side with Mutet.
Wow. Yeah, that's a good smash. That's aggressive. I mean, quick. I like the quick reaction. It was like not. It was like you missed the return, throw the racket right away. Don't waste any time.
Yeah, going against Dano Sweeney too.
It's efficient. Yeah, Dano Sweeney. You got the heavy hitter, big slugger down from Australia, having a good run. He's serving big. He didn't waste any time throwing the racket. He loved to see it.
Yeah, out of like 10 out of 10 scale, how do you see that one?
That one's I'd say an 8.5 out of 10.
Yeah.
He didn't. I think if it was a 10 out of 10, he would have had to smash the camera. Throwing the racket at the camera, smash something a little more destruction, probably a fine of some sort. But like this one's very good. The racket was kind of strategically at the fence. I want to see one camera at least smash for a 10 out of 10.
Yeah, and thanks to the TikTok page at Oz Open for that post. That was awesome of them.
Yeah, shout out to Oz Open. We know we're big fans of this show. We guys know you're watching, so thank you for that.
Yeah, appreciate it, Oz Open.
Yeah, appreciate Oz Open. Shout out to Oz Open.
Yeah.
Yo, we ain't playing around, boy. No, but seriously, guys, Aussie Open 2026. Tune in. What you know about that shit? Come on, man.
Get me a crack.
Come on, players and playerettes. Come on, man.
All right, moving on to the shirt of the tournament. This shirt reminded me of you. I saw this guy was playing Vasil Kirkov here first round.
Yes, Vasil. Yes.
This guy was playing Vasil Kirkov here first round. Just what are your thoughts on this shirt? I feel like I could see you wearing this. I'm gonna zoom in on this Medusa shirt here.
Wow. Goodness gracious. So that is a beautiful shirt. I would love to wear that shirt. I mean, there's a million, they say a picture is worth 1,000 words, and I think this one's even worth a few more than that. This one is beautiful. You have the head of Medusa with her long hair. I don't know what you'd call her hair. Maybe it's I don't know if her hair is made of stone or snakes. I mean, you stare at her, you turn to stone. They're snakes, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're snakes, so
they're luscious
locks. Nice. Yeah, I mean, she looks pretty good. She's rocking a good look. But yeah, I mean, you don't want to look at it, so it's like a weird thing. I mean, if he's playing doubles and he's probably at the net a lot, he's probably turning his back. If I were him, I'd probably show my back a lot when you go for overheads to show your opponents the head of Medusa. So before you hit an overhead, I think it frees him. He's gonna hit the overhead for a winner every time. I think it's easy tactic. It's a very smart play to wear the Medusa shirt at the Australian Open 2026. Yo, Jack, clip this.
So good.
Yo, chat, clip this. Medusa 2026, dog. What you know about Medusa, bro? What you even know about Medusa? No, wait, guys, chat. Yo, stop laughing. Yo, you're gonna put this in the stuff. So listen, guys, you're wearing a Medusa shirt. Hear me out, guys. You're playing first round, Aussie Open, doubles, right? You want to have a serve and volley, and you're a doubles player, so you got to get to the net, right? So you serve, but you got to turn your shoulders, right? Little Medusa head. That's like half a second. Medusa head exposure. Your opponents are like, what is the back on this guy's shirt? Is that a Medusa head? I don't know what that is. Boom. You kind of freeze them a little bit on the return. They got to stiff it up. Volley. Boom. You goes net, and then they put up a lob, and then you freeze them. Done. They're frozen. They're turned to stone by the time you have to hit the overhead. It's insane. Guys, Easy tactics. Just wear the Medusa shirt. Good for this guy. I'm probably ordering tomorrow. So thank you.
And you think that's within ATP regulations? Like you think that and like a Wilson sign, like that All About Tennis sign, like you think they're pretty comparable, or what are your
Well,
thoughts on
see,
that?
this is what I'm wondering. They say there's also rules, you know, and they have rules about your Wilson logo can't be more than 3 inches this way, 3 inches, whatever it is. It's insane. They have all these regulations. You can't have too many logos. You can't have too many words. This, that can't be this big, can't be that big. And I mean, this guy's Medusa's face and snakes all over in the back of his shirt. It's insane. But I mean the ATP gonna ATP, you know. So I mean the Medusa shirt clearly is legal. Good for them. Their art is winning.
Yep. Yeah, it's sick shirt. I think this company needs to send you one of those. I could see Wave God rocking one of those for sure.
I would love to rock one of these. I think it would look great in the Arizona sun. I think it is cool. I mean it is a beautiful shirt. I mean I gotta say. I mean it's a cool shirt. I'm interested on how they got around the ATP rules on to print something so big on something. So
And
it's,
then
it's
you
good for
could
them.
you could have that for like the Australian Open, and then for like another slam you have Poseidon, and then for another one you have like Zeus back there,
Yes, I
and then
think there's something magical with the Medusa, just turning your opponents, showing the back. It's a good tactic. You got to freeze your opponents, turn them stone, hit the overhead kind of thing. I think it's something that we're gonna have to take a look into.
quite the tactic, quite the tactic. All right, moving on, chat.
Yeah.
Here we got Alejandro Davidovich Fokina. It looks like he's going at a couple fans there in the stands,
Oh.
or I know he was going at a couple fans there in the stands. Got his
Oh.
finger pointed. He's saying something to him. I just was wondering, have you ever gotten to any encounters with a fan mid match, or you have any stories about that,
Um,
like in college tennis or juniors or pro or anything?
so many times. Yes, so many times. I mean, in college tennis for sure. Whenever I went in bandana, people call me Federer. They'd say, "Nice shot, Federer." One time I was playing Nuno Borges actually, and I was playing in Mississippi State. I was wearing a bandana, and I won the first set, and the guy kept calling me Federer, and it kind of rattled me. But the thing is, when you talk back to the fan, it puts a lot of pressure on you as a player. So it's like if you're playing well, you can talk back, but then the moment it starts going bad, you kind of regret it because they're kind of in your ear and you kind of hear them. But yeah, so many times, you see a lot of guys talk back these days, and sometimes it fires them up. Sometimes it kind of brings them to can bring it negative pretty quick. But I think it's a fun thing. I think fans are a little bit crazy sometimes. I think it's uncalled for. And you see it a lot these days. It just happens like where it's like, I mean, I think some players are looking for some confrontation out there, but it just seems like so many players are having to kind of deal with fans. Where I think tennis should have a little better like people can cheer and go crazy, but like, when they're saying some crazy things, maybe have some more security or something. I don't know. I mean, I'm all for fans having a great experience, but it seems like a lot of guys are having to deal with some lunatics out there.
Yeah. Also, like not unreal trash talk. If they're like calling you Feder, it's kind of sick to like be called Fed. I feel like.
Well, that was sick. Yeah, but
Yeah.
they'd say it when I would miss. They would say it even when I make or miss a shot. So it was like, and then it's just because it was just because of the headband, which
Yeah.
was
Like,
fun. But then when I started missing shots, they're like, "Oh, Fed," like they were like, "Oh, Federer not feeling anymore." Oh, they're saying crazy stuff, and they're like, yeah, they're yeah, it was funny. College tennis, it's definitely intense for
yeah.
sure. Intense competition, and that's what we all enjoyed. So,
All right, moving
but no,
on.
I
And last but not least, we can't end this without talking about the controversy of the tournament so far. We
yes.
got Yannick Sinner already heading to his corner to have a conversation with Coach Cahill, but I think the Wave God can already translate this one for us. So
Yeah, I mean, what he said was, "Coach, I'm fucked up. Coach, I am effed up. I can't do this shit right now. I'm tired. My legs be shaking. My legs be trembling. I'm facing an American Patriot, Elliot Spizzirri, and he's going hard AF. Elliot was playing some real ball, playing huge tennis, and I mean, it was a hot day. I mean, what can you say? It wasn't an Austin heat; it was a dry heat. But like the guy's legs were cramping up, and we've all had cramps, and it was absolutely insane conditions. And the fact that the roof closed at the same time he's cramping, he seems to be going into full body cramps with both legs, and can't jump up for overheads. And Elliot's hitting passing shots, that maybe normally Sinner is covering, and he's obviously, number two, ranked player in the world, huge match. It's pretty dramatic scenes. Elliot he's a real American patriot fighting on. I think we're all super proud of him, and it's bizarre. But yeah, it's for him to be talking to his coaches, and then yeah, it's a bizarre situation for sure.
Yeah, it's not a position that you want to see other people in and that you'd want to be in. Just having that happen up in the third against two-time defending champion. But there's not much you can do about some things.
Yeah. I mean, exactly. Yeah, it's out of his control. But yeah, it's I think is that the first time this heat rule's ever been put into effect?
I think so. Yeah, but I mean they've had
The
it at
first time.
challengers and stuff, right? Like I mean I've been at
They have them everywhere. They have even futures and challengers, and it's no, I mean if it's that hot, that's it's pretty it's interesting. Yeah, it's just I'll take Elliot's words. It's funny timing. It's just funny timing. Unfortunate timing. It's really hot.
yeah.
Funny timing.
Aside from this example, what are your thoughts on the heat rule? Like because you're from Arizona for sure. Growing up, you've practiced and played junior matches in like 100 like ridiculous temperatures. Being in Texas, I did too. Like, I mean, I feel like that's
Yeah.
part of the game is just like the physicality and being able to like outlast the other person personally. But I do get it for everyone's benefit also. But has anyone
Yeah.
like ever died? Like like if you cramp, you just cramp, right? You go get an IV and then you're chilling.
That's true. I've been a cramper. I've been on the IVs. It's tough, when it's that hot. I guess I do see some value in, if the ITF, ATP, whatever it is, has some sort of rule. But if it's that hot, it's that hot. If they make a rule and they have to have some way to just monitor it, if it gets over a certain temperature, you wait to play till it's under that temperature.
Yeah.
It is what it is. In Arizona, it's a drier heat. So honestly, when I go in the summer and it's like the more humid in the middle of the day, it's probably worse than out here. It's just hot and dry. But
Was it brutal for you, like playing like
it's
Kalamazoo in the
all
middle
man.
of
The
summer
summer's
and
always
stuff, like
brutal,
going to that
man. The
humidity?
summer's always brutal. The
Yeah.
summers are always like just so brutal, and they're hot, and it's hot for everybody. But it's like I get it, and whatever it is, it's equal for everybody. So if you play in the heat, then everyone plays in the heat. But if you take a break at a certain temperature, then everyone takes a break. And it's like Sinner. And I don't think Sinner's case is like it's unfortunate for Elliot, but it's not like him cheating. Like the temperature, they take the temperature probably every few minutes or whatever it is. It registered over the heat index. They call the match, and that's what it is, and they put the roof over. Like
Yeah.
it's the timing of it is unfortunate, and that's why Darren Cahill, you can hear him talking at the back. And if you play that clip, is like, hey man, like keep battling through the set, get through the next set, see what happens. And cramps normally, if you can get through them, they will go away. And that's a cramp. So if you go to the hospital, you get IVs, and you're pretty much good to go after. You don't feel any
Yeah.
residual effects after. It's just kind of like you get through them and you kind of move on.
Yeah.
So
That
that's how it is. Even if you don't have heat rule, you probably want to get through them and see if you can continue playing.
Yeah, that
Um,
mindset though is why you're playing on the tour and I'm at home on this chair talking to a microphone because like you're able to just be
no,
like you're able to like put it into the bigger picture and I'm just so like caught up on the little rules and everything just sucks what happened. But
no,
yeah,
it is a tough rule, but it's yeah. I mean, the thing is, it's got to be the same for everyone, and yeah, it's a new rule. That's why I think it is shocking, and Sinner's just been surrounded by controversy a lot. So I think that's why it's especially interesting being with him involved in it.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, I just had to bring it up. It's the American Patriot, Elliot Spizzirri, so
We love Elliot. We love Elliot. That's just it's a brutal loss, but he's playing great tennis. It was fun to watch for sure, and unfortunate, but it's a bizarre situation. I think everyone feels for him. So
yeah. Got one more question for you before you get out of here. You've always had a nails backhand, just unreal solid, unreal backhand. Give me a list of five guys in no order. What are your top five two-handed backies?
oh man, wow, my backhand, it's too good. I'd say no particular order. I think actually I will give an order. I will give an order. I'll say uh Thomas Berdych, number five. I would say Djokovic, number four. I would say Who was I gonna say?
Would you say
David
Berdic's
Nalbandian.
backhand is similar to Zverev? How he like gets his was pretty high up there, right? How
Yeah,
Zverev's was like,
I'd say Zverev number three maybe, and then David Nalbandian number one.
yeah, I like that.
David Nalbandian number one, and then who's my two? Who's my two? Marty Fish number two.
Oh, I like that. I like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, that's my. I mean, that's like a loose. Like, I think that's pretty good. I think they're all unreal. You can't really differentiate, but I love Davina Bandana. I think anytime you wear a bandana, your backhand's like 10 to 15% better.
Yeah,
Just statistically, mathematically.
because of Nalbandian.
I mean, no, bandana is a he's a huge part of it, but I think most players that wear a bandana, they tend to have a 10 to 15% better backhand. It's just kind of how it goes. Like, as opposed to if they take it off, it just kind of gets worse.
It gets worse. I see what you're saying.
And this is my personal scientific studies. So
Yeah. All right, dude. Well, appreciate you coming on here. This is part one. This is episode one. We're gonna do it
yes,
again. Get more
yes,
into it, but had to get the wave god on here. So appreciate you coming on
absolutely. Yes, thank you for having me, brother. I appreciate it.
for sure. All right, man. Thanks again to Wave God for coming on yesterday. Even though I had a little bit of video issues, we still had fun chopping it up, still had fun talking. So we're gonna hear from Wave God again, hopefully tonight. But for that, we're lucky to have him. And yeah, thanks again. Anyways, everybody, have a good day. Do something productive. Maybe go sledding if you're in Indy. I don't know. Enjoy the snow. Enjoy the day off. Go have some fun. Do something fun. See you guys.